Hi, I'm Heather Lindahl with the Evanston Public Library. In this video, you will learn how to clone a subject using the green screen feature in iMovie for iPad. Cloning is when you see a second version of the same subject, like a person or a cat. The green screen feature allows you to add a second layer of video on top of your background layer to make it appear like two versions of the same person are in the scene together. Now, iMovie only lets you add a second layer in the editing timeline, but there's a trick. You can add more versions of the subject if you plan carefully. I'll explain. Okay, here we are in the iMovie for iPad editing timeline. The first thing I'm going to do is add my background layer to the movie. So I'm going to click this little plus sign in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and I can see all my videos there. I'm going to select the one that has an actual real-life background behind it first. I'm not going to select one of the ones that has green screen. And I tap it to highlight, and then I tap the plus sign to add it to the timeline. So now it's there. Now I'm going to X out of my media for a second so I can show you something. You'll notice that the vertical white line, which is called the playhead, is positioned at the end of this clip. In order to add another layer, we're going to want to position it at the beginning of the clip, and we're going to do that by touching the video clip, and we're going to drag it to the right. And by doing that, we reposition the timeline. Now, to add our green screen layer, we're going to click the plus sign at the top right corner again, and this time we're going to add a green screen layer, but it's going to be a little bit different. So you highlight it by tapping once, and then rather than using that little plus sign on the left, we're going to tap the three dots to the right and select green/blue screen. Okay, so now it's processing. Now we have some layers going. We have two people at once. Okay, so this is how you do basic cloning. In order to add a third layer, we're going to have to export this. So before we export it, we need to clean it up, because once we export it, it's exactly the way it's going to be, and we won't be able to do any of this green screen editing. So I'm going to tap on the layer with the green screen to highlight it. And as you can see, these little tools have shown up on the edges, and if you've used green screen before, you understand what these do. It crops out anything that you don't want, anything that was outside of the green screen, basically. So now it looks like there are two of me in the same room. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and export this. Done. And then I click the share button, and then I save video. It's exporting. Okay, now my movie has been exported and saved to my videos. When I'm in my projects folder, the one that says my movie, that's not the exported version. That's the version that I can continue editing. But I don't want to continue editing that. What I want to do is create a new project, create movie, and then add that exported video, the one that has two of me. I'm going to add that as my new background layer. So I hit the plus sign, and there it is. Swipe the clip to the right to position the playhead all the way at the beginning. And then I'm going to click the plus sign again and choose the other green screen video to put on top of that. And again, when we're adding a green screen layer, we don't use the plus sign. We use the little three dots to the right, and we select green/blue screen. And there it is. It's processing the green screen. And if we go to the beginning, we can see there are three people in the frame. Okay, so now this top layer green screen, you can of course select and pull in your corners and do your editing. You can't do that to the other layers. Those are now completely set in stone. So just make sure that when you're doing your initial layer, that you do all of your trimming and any filters you want to add, because those will no longer be editable once it's flattened into a single background layer. And you can just continue doing that as many times as you want. You can add hundreds of layers as long as you're comfortable with not doing any editing to your background layer once it's exported. I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed this video. Bye!